There are three stages to a bull market. The first, when only a few forward-looking people begin to believe things will get better. The second, when most investors realize improvement is actually underway. And the third, when everyone concludes things will be better forever. What if the secret to surviving in finance isn't about knowing the future? What if it's about knowing yourself? And what if the most profitable skill in the world is simply understanding one inescapable pattern? A pattern that governs everything, from the stock market to our own emotions. This is the story of Howard Marks, the billionaire investor who built a fortune by ignoring the noise and listening to the silence. He didn't sell stocks or bonds. He sold a philosophy, a radical way of thinking that turned the very idea of risk upside down. In the world of finance, fame is usually loud. It's the sound of a closing bell, a frantic trading floor, a bold prediction shouted on television. But for decades, the most sought-after wisdom in the industry arrived quietly. In the form of a memo. These were the Oaktree Memos, written by Howard Marks. No flashy graphics, no hot stock tips, just page after page of clear, unflinching thought. While others were trying to predict the rain, Marks was focused on building the ark. He wasn't a fortune teller. He was a philosopher of fortune. And his central idea is a force of nature we've all felt, but few have ever mastered. The cycle. Marks saw the world not as a straight line moving upward, but as a giant pendulum swinging endlessly between two poles: euphoria and despair, greed and fear, uncritical optimism and hopeless depression. When the pendulum is swinging toward euphoria, investors believe risk has vanished. They think, this time it's different. They buy assets at any price, convinced the ride will never end. This, Marks warned, is the moment of maximum danger, because the one thing the pendulum always does is swing back. He wrote, "The riskiest thing in the world is the widespread belief that there's no risk." Conversely, when the pendulum swings to despair, when markets have crashed and headlines scream of crisis, investors are paralyzed by fear. They sell everything, convinced the pain will last forever. This, Marks taught, is the moment of maximum opportunity. The genius of his philosophy wasn't in predicting when the pendulum would swing. It was simply in knowing where it was in its arc and acting against its momentum. So how do you know where the pendulum is? Marx's answer was a concept he called second-level thinking. First-level thinking says, this is a great company, let's buy the stock. It's simple and superficial. Second-level thinking asks, yes, it's a great company. But does everyone else already know that? Is the price too high? What's the consensus? And is it right? What could go wrong? Second-level thinking is about understanding not just the asset, but the psychology around the asset. It's the difference between playing checkers and playing three-dimensional chess. It's admitting the most powerful words an investor can ever say, I do, and no. By accepting that you can't predict the future, you stop trying. Instead, you prepare. You invest with a margin of safety. You position yourself not for one outcome, but for a range of possibilities. The lessons of Howard Marks go far beyond investing. They are lessons in psychology, history, and humility. He teaches us that the greatest risks are the ones we don't see, born from the comfort of the crowd. He proves that the greatest opportunities are found in the lonely act of thinking for yourself, especially when it's uncomfortable. To truly master the market, you must first master your own emotions. To see the world clearly, you have to be willing to stand apart from it. This journey into the minds of the world's greatest thinkers is just beginning. If you're ready to challenge your own assumptions and learn the frameworks that build lasting success, subscribe now. Join a community dedicated to mastering the mental models that shape our world. In the end, Howard Marks's secret wasn't a formula for getting rich quick. It was a timeless truth. You cannot control the cycles, The tide will always ebb and flow. All you can ever hope to control is your response to it. And in that control lies true power.